In the quiet district of Yanaka, Tokyo, an elderly artisan sits before a piece of broken pottery. The ceramic bowl, shattered during an earthquake years ago, is not thrown away. Instead, he fills the fine, irregular cracks with lacquer mixed with powdered gold. He does not hurry. His hands move with steady, unbothered precision. Outside, the modern world rushes forward in a hyper-connected rhythm. Yet inside this small workshop, time seems to expand. When life fractures, whether through natural disasters, career setbacks, or personal grief, most cultures teach us to fight against the pain, to repair the damage instantly, or to mask the scars. But in Japan, composure is not built on fighting the storm. It is built on an ancient, quiet relationship with chaos itself. How do people raised in a country defined by geographic fragility and dense urban pressure maintain such striking emotional stability during difficult times? Is composure a biological trait, or is it a deliberate system of psychological frameworks passed down through generations? The answer lies in a set of practical mental habits designed to preserve internal peace when everything outside is collapsing. Understanding these principles will not just explain Japanese resilience, it will give you an adaptable blueprint for remaining grounded through your own darkest moments. Modern self-help culture often tells us that emotional strength means total control. We are taught to manage our environment, master our schedules, and eliminate uncertainty. But this approach creates incredible friction when life inevitably resists our plans. The Japanese perspective offers a radical alternative. True calm comes not from mastering your surroundings, but from changing how you yield to them. Resiliency is not the strength of a heavy oak tree that resists the wind until it snaps. It is the flexibility of bamboo that bends under heavy snow, releases the weight, and springs back upright. Shikata Ga Nai. Imagine standing on a train platform during a torrential downpour. The digital arrivals board flashes a delay notice. Around the world, commuters sigh loudly, pace frantically, and check their phones with visible agitation. Yet on this Tokyo platform, a collective, silent release occurs. You hear a soft phrase whispered among travelers, Shikata Ga Nai. It translates to, "It cannot be helped." This is not fatalism or hopeless resignation. In cognitive psychology, this mental movement is known as radical acceptance. Frustration usually occurs not from the negative event itself, but from the distance between reality and our expectation of how reality should be. When you expend emotional energy fighting things outside your control, you deplete the precise cognitive resources needed to navigate the actual situation. By acknowledging that a crisis cannot be changed in the moment, you immediately cut off the flow of useless anxiety. To apply this, notice when you are arguing with reality, whether it is bad weather, a canceled contract, or a difficult personality. Mentally label the situation as Shikata Ga Nai. Release the impulse to fight the unchangeable, and redirect your focus toward what remains within your influence. Accepting what is opens the door to clarity. Gaman. During the 2011 tsunami and its aftermath, international news crews arrived expecting chaos, looting, and widespread panic. Instead, they filmed endless lines of survivors standing patiently in the freezing cold for emergency supplies, quietly comforting one another without outbursts or anger. Broadcasters referred to it as emotional discipline, but the Japanese know it by its cultural name, Gaman. Gaman means to endure the seemingly unendurable with patience, dignity, and self-restraint. It is rooted in the psychological insight that emotional expressions can reinforce internal states. When we vent distress impulsively, we often amplify panic in ourselves and those around us. Gaman encourages us to absorb immediate distress privately so that collective order and personal composure can be maintained. In daily life, practicing Gaman does not mean suppressing healthy emotions long-term. It means creating a pause between feeling pain and reacting to it. When faced with sudden stress, Resist the urge to complain instantly or react out loud. Allow the discomfort to settle inside you without letting it control your expression. By holding space for difficult emotions without panicking, you build an internal reservoir of emotional stamina. Gamushara versus Unsei. When difficulties arise, the Western impulse is often to double down on raw effort, a mindset similar to the Japanese term gamushara, meaning recklessly pushing forward regardless of conditions. But when a storm hits, pushing harder against an immovable obstacle only causes burnout. The counterbalancing principle is yuan-ansei, or adaptive flexibility. When a river encounters a massive boulder, it does not attempt to break the stone through sheer force. It flows around it, adapting its shape while retaining its momentum. The underlying philosophy here recognizes that rigid strategies crumble under unexpected pressure. True resilience requires shifting your methods while maintaining your ultimate direction. When you face a severe obstacle in your work or personal life, pause your initial impulse to push harder down the same path. Step back and ask yourself what a liquid response would look like. Can you alter your timeline, adopt a different tool, or alter your expectations? Flexibility preserves energy, enabling you to keep moving forward when direct force fails. Shoshin. Crisis often triggers intense mental paralysis because we view the present through the lens of past expectations or expertise. We believe we should already know how to handle the situation, and this pride creates shame and anxiety when we feel lost. The classic Zen concept of Shoshin, or beginner's mind, offers an immediate release from this self-imposed pressure. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are few. When you approach a difficult situation with Shoshin, you drop the burden of needing to have everything figured out. You become a curious observer rather than a struggling master. Behavioral research shows that adopting a mindset of open curiosity during high-stress events lowers cortisol levels and unlocks creative problem-solving skills that fear typically blocks. When you feel overwhelmed by an unfamiliar challenge, say to yourself, "I am a beginner at handling this specific situation." This simple shift frees you from perfectionism, allowing you to observe facts objectively, ask simple questions, and take humble, incremental steps toward a solution. Wabishabi. Much of our modern anxiety stems from an impossible standard, the belief that life ought to be smooth, complete, and permanently secure. When things fall apart, we view it as an unnatural failure. The aesthetic and philosophical framework of Wabishabi challenges this delusion directly by reminding us that nothing lasts, nothing is finished, and nothing is perfect. The traditional tea ceremony illustrates this mindset. A tea bowl is not prized for flawless symmetry, but for its unique organic asymmetry, subtle cracks, and signs of wear. Wabishabi teaches us to see beauty and value in impermanence and imperfection. When a crisis disrupts your plans, viewing the situation through Wabishabi allows you to accept that brokenness is a natural stage in the life cycle of any human effort. In practical terms, Wabishabi invites you to abandon the fantasy of a neat, uninterrupted life. When a project breaks down or a life stage ends painfully, reframe the scar as part of your story's texture. The goal is not to live an undamaged life, but to find meaning and quiet beauty within the inevitable cracks. Shoko. When a crisis feels overwhelming, the mind naturally attempts to solve the entire future at once, creating a state of decision paralysis. The practice of Shoko, focusing entirely on the small, immediate action directly before you, pulls the mind out of abstract future panic and anchors it back in the tangible present. Consider a gardener tending to a storm-damaged landscape. They do not stare at the ruined orchard as a whole. They focus on clearing a single fallen branch, then sweeping a single path. By narrowing the cognitive field to the immediate task, the brain stops projecting catastrophic scenarios. Action cures anxiety, because action forces the nervous system to focus on control rather than vulnerability. When difficulty leaves you feeling paralyzed, shrink your horizon. Do not try to plan the next 6 months, or even the next week. Ask yourself, what is the single smallest constructive thing I can do in the next 10 minutes? Clean a dish, answer one email, or take 10 deliberate breaths. Small, grounded actions create momentum, and momentum restores calm. The power of acceptance, Shikata Ga Nai, and the art of radical acceptance. We find the golden thread that binds all these practices together. The elderly craftsman in Yanaka does not pretend the earthquake never happened. He does not hide the shattered pieces of ceramic or feel ashamed that the bowl broke. By pouring gold into the cracks, he demonstrates that acceptance is not the end of the story. It is the exact place where transformation begins. Staying calm during difficult times does not require you to be emotionless, nor does it ask you to pretend that pain does not hurt. It simply asks you to stop wasting your precious vitality, fighting reality as it is. When you accept what has occurred, hold your ground with quiet dignity, adapt your methods with flexibility, and focus on the immediate step before you, chaos loses its power over your spirit. The storm will eventually pass, as all storms do, and when it does, the goal is not to emerge unchanged, but to stand grounded in the quiet realization that you were strong enough to bend without breaking.